2 days. All right.
Good. Call the meeting to order. Where is our? We don't have the.
Oh, yeah, because Karen would have the minutes. Did you have the minutes from?
I have them on my phone.
He sent them via email, I think.
Okay.
I printed one out of those.
Okay. Blair here, John Barrett. I was gonna call and see if he needed a ride, but I just got in the door. Kate Bliss.
Here,
Yes, yes, Kate Bliss. I
Yes.
see you.
Say here,
Lori Fairbanks.
I did.
Sid Robinson,
you here?
Karen Schultz, no, where is she?
Might be because my, Kate said she's trying to call in, but
Do you
Okay.
want to just have her call my cell phone and I'll just put it in the middle of the table, Kate?
Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
You have it, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, this is the old one, yeah.
Yep.
We have a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting,
Motion to approve?
second,
Aye. Approve.
all those in favor?
Aye.
So approved.
I
Little updates.
yeah, hold on. Oh, right. Forgot.
Too similar to this. That I can donate to the council on aging.
Oh, that looks like something my father-in-law made for us.
This one's now up to here. Are you
Yeah.
gonna take it away from your daughter? No, this one's hers. I gave her this one, but I've got 2 more. Oh, you got more. Oh, yeah, I gotta get rid of that.
Sorry, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Linda, it's Karen.
Hello, so you're on speaker and I'm just gonna put my phone right here on the table. Let me know if you can't hear, okay?
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, so donations for February. $58, 18 from yoga, 40 from Tai Chi. The expenses for February should be $698.11. I am just waiting on the Tai Chi invoice. And then it looks like I ran some numbers for July 24 to current. So fiscal year 25. Our expenses are 8,258.88. We have taken in $1,218.50 in donations.
The number, but not what it was for.
Donations
From
from
July.
July to now.
So July is the beginning of our fiscal year,
Yes.
okay?
So fiscal year 25. So we have March, April, May, and June to close out fiscal 25. There is probably about 7,900 roughly for expenses that will go out for the remaining 4 months. That does include our yoga for 18 classes, Tai Chi for 17 classes. Tai Chi just sent me an invoice for an increase starting March 1st to $70 a class. Then we have 2 grab and go meals. So roughly if I go by the previous invoices and the number of participants, we're looking at like 2,500. We have 4 months of Vets Breakfast to do. And then I am trying to plan a summer barbecue.
How are the vets breakfasts budgeted?
What do you mean?
I mean, how you do it, but not how much.
So I did about 150 for each one. It shouldn't be that much, because the one I just did reimbursement was 227. But I had to go get plates, bowls, cups, sugar, everything, since we didn't have any of that. So some of that won't carry over.
Yeah.
But
How many veterans did you have show up?
10 veterans.
Oh, that's
Nice.
good.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pleasantly happy with that, to be honest, because we changed the location one, and then we changed the day So, and I will say that Bob was instrumental in that because I had to call all the vets that signed up. So it was individual 15 calls. So Bob took about 3/4 of the list and called them for me. And we had to make that call twice. So,
Oh,
because first we were moving it from 1870 and then we had to move them to Friday instead. So,
Mhm.
just to touch base real quick in case there's any questions, that is why, in my mind, my senior center was so important to get. Because instead of having to make 15 individual calls, once they're in our system with their phone numbers, I make one call and it robocalls everybody. Yeah, so I could have just done one call to say, hi, everybody, we're canceling or we're moving or changing locations. If you have questions, call me.
Mhm.
So
So
it doesn't in fact go,
it'll say,
hello, this is Melissa, I am calling.
I can either leave a voicemail or I can make it sound like a robot. So that's just the numbers. I just tried to give an idea of what we'd be spending, from now until the end.
Does that include, you envision an increase in numbers at the vets thing? And we had talked about inviting Bolton to come since they invite us to
Yeah.
theirs.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some wiggle room. That's, we have money left. If it goes over that, that was just kind of my guesstimate on how much we'd spend. Because the food alone was $80, but we had enough to probably feed 10 more vets at least. We had plenty of muffins and donuts and juice and fruit, which we ended up sending to police and fire
Mhm.
just to have it there because it was Friday, so nobody was here anyway. So we sent it over to them. So yeah, I mean, I know the vet's agent, they were both talking about coming to March. I do want to revisit where to have it. My original was because they have a kitchen at 1870. But the space downstairs worked out pretty well. So,
And you got the bathrooms right across the hall, just plug in a heater over there or something.
yeah. And Chief Shartner did say that for events like that, if I give him 36 hours, which I would probably give him more than that, 36 hours, he will have the officers move the police vehicles from that area and we can have
Nice.
people park there, in those spots. And then if they block each other in, it doesn't really matter because they're all kind of leaving at the same time. So he said just to let them know if we wanted that for the next one. So,
You talked about bumping up what's served.
yeah. I would like to. That's why 1870 is important because it has a kitchen that I can actually heat things up.
Yeah.
Um,
Does it have a
I know they
microwave
all
or
like,
something?
I know you all liked the donuts. It has an oven and a stove, so I can actually. I'm Serve Safe certified. That kitchen is not Serve Safe. So we can't make anything in that kitchen, but we can heat things up that have
Yeah.
been prepared in
Yeah.
a Serve Safe kitchen. So if we got things from the general store, if Ed's able to make sandwiches, or even Market Basket or Panera, whatever we could get,
Mhm.
I can heat things up. I just can't make them from scratch in that kitchen. Which is why it was a nice idea to me, so you don't just have donuts and coffee.
Yeah.
They were all very happy, pleasantly surprised that, it had started and, very appreciative.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so, that's what I have for expenses and donations. Part-time wages, we don't have any right now. Because we still don't have van drivers.
Well, you don't have for,
Yeah.
Meals on Wheels, one of the drivers, anyway.
Oh, well, yeah, but she doesn't get paid. She goes under expenses.
Expenses?
Yeah, for
Okay.
mileage. Yeah. Which she was paid for April, or February. I didn't include her in this one, but it's about $40 a month. So say another $160 max. I think that's it. Am I missing anything?
Can you just repeat for me, the expenses related to the vets breakfast? Just because Karen texted me that she's having a hard time hearing.
Oh.
Now I'm taking notes, but I wasn't ready yet.
So, the last veterans breakfast was $227.51 for me to get reimbursed. That is also kind of, I think, how it's gonna have to work for us. We don't have individual department credit cards, so I'm gonna have to spend my money, get reimbursed. Unless it's something that we have either like a card with already, like your refrigerator will be from Lowe's. We can use that, so I don't have to pay for that. But veterans breakfast for each month, I kind of dog-eared $150 for the next 4 months, each month for the next 4 months.
So with those various expenditures that you've indicated, the Tai Chi, the yoga, the vet's breakfast, grab and go meals, Meals on Wheels driver reimbursement, what does that leave us at the end of all that for a spendable balance?
We'd probably be pretty close to what we stood like spending it all. Cause I think there was like 17 at the start of July, 17,000-ish. So we might have like 1,000 or 1,500 left about. But again, the grab and goes, that's dependent upon how many people sign up and if we get more donations. Kind of jumping ahead with Tai Chi and yoga, if we get more people to come, then that kind of will offset the cost as well. They're both at $70 a class now. If you have 5 and 6 people showing up, we're paying quite a bit. Not that I necessarily want to increase on the people that are attending, but if we could get a few more people to attend for the couple bucks, we'd kind of start to offset a little bit of it. We're kind of far from paying it by donations, but at least it would get a little bit more money back in the bank.
How much do people donate?
$2.
No, but I mean,
Oh.
in total so far?
Yoga was, well, for the month was 18.
$18?
Yeah, for the month. And then Tai Chi was 40. So it really just depends on, that's kind of a floating. If we have 4 people show up, we get $8. If we have 12 people, then, you know, it's gonna be 48. So, it really just depends on the numbers that attend.
Hmm.
Can I ask a question, that may be controversial, but just tell me it's controversial.
You know, Linda, that's controversial.
What, what do we have left for money for the rest of the year? And I'll tell you the reason I'm asking that before you answer, because it may not be an argument at all. I would like to talk about whether or not we continue sort of on a regular schedule doing grab and goes. If we are going to go in the direction of in-person gatherings to offer meals and therefore offer socialization, which is really what we want to do. If we are, you know, on a small budget, which I think we are, I would like just to at least discuss using that money. I mean, I think grab and goes are lovely, and I'm not sure we're reaching the audience that we need to reach with grab and goes.
And you're not socializing.
And there's no socialization,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
So I would rather, I just wanted to talk about it. And, you know, I don't think it wasn't, if I remember in looking at the survey, something that a lot of people said, and let's do 1 million more grab and goes.
Yeah.
You know,
I just noticed in previous that they had about 2 a year. They had been doing 2 a year. And I mean,
right.
it was 70 meals at each one, roughly. So in my mind, that was something that people wanted. But I 100% agree with, if we're going to start doing more activities, then that gets them out, not just taking it and going home or having it delivered to their house.
right, maybe they come here and eat it
Maybe we
here.
open up,
Exactly, yeah.
some tables and have them actually sit and eat,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it won't be
if
grab and
We
go.
talked about doing, you know, lunches with a speaker or,
Mhm.
you know, whatever. Then I would rather have the money go towards meals where people are congregating.
Yes, okay. I don't have an exact figure because this is just what's on my like Excel spreadsheets that they had started. But I do know we also have quite a bit of funding from the formula grant.
Mhm.
So that is, we can kind of use some money there if we went over, not that I want to go over, but
Yeah.
Why not?
definitely something to think about.
Yeah, or maybe we play out the rest of the year with, you know, this grab and go and another grab and go, and then think about as we increase our activities, what do we do next year?
Yeah.
We used to do a Christmas meal.
Okay.
At the, First Parish Church. 'Cause
Okay.
We could clean all the dishes and do all
Yeah,
that, but we used to have someone come in and set up all the food.
Mhm.
And we would do the cleanup and serving and all that kind of stuff, and it was great because a lot of people attended.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then you reach the people who that may be their only Christmas meal, you
Mhm.
know, or a Christmas meal with someone else
Yeah.
present. that
Right,
kind
where
of
they're
thing.
not alone
Yeah,
eating for a
exactly.
holiday.
Well, the other
Okay.
thing too is, I don't see senior focused activities drawing a monster percentage of the town's budget. I think it's less than 1%.
Mhm.
And if you want to do other programs and realize ahead of time you'll fall short, that's an argument to make for increasing the budget.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that's a good idea. Like I said, just coming in, it was, those were popular. That was, seemed like
Well,
a great,
it
so I was,
was the thing
but
that
it
was
does make
done.
more sense. Now we're outside
That
of
was really the
COVID.
only thing that was done on a broader spectrum, so.
Mhm.
I can see why it would seem like the thing to do.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't think it's a bad thing, but I just think it's maybe not,
It wouldn't take much to
necessarily our
set up
goal.
tables.
yeah,
It partly meets one goal, but what you're talking about meets two goals.
Yeah,
that's right.
I
yeah.
think I just
Yeah.
put up 4 fingers.
I don't think necessarily we're reaching the population that we're trying to reach. I mean, presumably we should be, I think, trying to reach a population of seniors who are more isolated, have less, sort of community involvement, all of that. And yes, that's some of the people I think we're reaching with the grab and go, but we're also reaching a lot of people who it's just a free meal, which is lovely, but
Mhm.
we don't really have the budget for just a free meal.
Right.
Right.
The idea of collaborating among different groups too, I think could bear some fruit, because I know the Lions Club is interested in doing the senior dinner again,
Okay,
which
Oh,
they've
nice.
done a year ago. So if the Lions are interested in doing that, and Berlin Senior Citizens have been doing programs, they used to do them monthly at the church with the
Mhm.
program.
yeah,
They should be interested. So between 2 or 3 different groups, I think we might be able to pull off more than
yeah.
one dinner for seniors a year.
Yeah, we could revisit that ice cream social that we talked about.
Oh, I had that on my list.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, getting a bunch of big containers of ice cream from Rhoda Spring or something like that, and sprinkles and whipped cream, I think will go a long way. Something fun when it's
Mhm.
nicer out, right? Warmer
Yeah.
out, I should
I
say.
think so what I did was, I had
But
looked,
less money than those grab and goes.
yeah, yeah. And I think that goes to the socialization and getting them, so I looked up by month what like holidays or what national day, so like November 8th is something, so I was trying to figure out what could make it special. I mean, it could just be a pizza party. We could just say, hey, we're providing pizzas, come down, and that gets people out, but
Yeah.
pizza's even cheaper than, big
Right.
chicken and a full meal.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah. So I do have a few things. I know when I was in Clinton, we would do the ice cream truck for one of the groups for Wild Women used to do like a block dance,
Hmm.
and they just invoice us. So like we want things that'll invoice us. That way we're not just having to pay money, and we can use the town card and we don't have to get
Right.
reimbursed for it. But yeah, definitely there's some more ideas.
I
I
think
do like
also
that too.
thinking in terms of lunches instead of dinners always. I know my experience with seniors is those seniors that we're trying to reach don't go out at night.
Yeah, yeah.
But they'll, to have something in the middle of the day could be very fun.
Mhm.
So,
I did have, so I put together a survey, an exact survey, and I'm just tweaking it. So probably, I would say in the next meeting, I can send copies to you before that, but I would say by the next meeting, we'll want to be sending it out. And that's exactly a question that's on there. Would you participate in day programs, evening programs? The other thing about evenings is people that are still in the workforce can't attend anything during the day.
Yep.
right.
So it's not bad to have a couple things sprinkled in at night. but they probably don't care about grab and go meals either because they're probably working, they're probably still able to cook for themselves. So,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah, so there are a few things to consider. With that stuff.
Last Wednesday and this coming Friday, Neshoba Neighbors did last Wednesday, a group, anybody in that group who wanted to go to a lunch
Mhm,
at Kith and Kin. So I
mhm.
think 14 people showed up.
I talked to Sue about that on Thursday,
Yeah,
because, well, what's a couple down for transportation would help some of the people
Yeah.
if you have people that need transportation, they'll be able to get them there.
yeah. And the other was, this Friday is gonna be a breakfast.
Breakfast, for
Yeah.
those, Sue said, for those that couldn't afford a lunch, you know, a $20 lunch, you could get a breakfast, a coffee and a muffin or something and still get out
And
and,
he'll go to a restaurant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. so, yeah, I think that I liked that idea too. We're supposed to meet a little bit more, on that.
And I think pulling, like, we talked about, you know, all the suggestions that we had, but I know like the intergenerational stuff, like
Mhm.
having the kids from the high school come and do tech support, you know, combining that with a lunch will
Mhm.
maybe pull more people in for the tech support or vice versa, you
Right,
know?
right. Gotta find that tech support person. Okay.
Next item on the list actually, has some relationship to this as well. Transportation, we do or don't have any driver signed on yet for the van.
We do not, but that's why I need 3 of you on the board, well, at least 2.
To share the driving
To
responsibility.
be, yes, you are now hired as van drivers. To do in-person interview. I have 3 candidates that I have done phone interviews for. And so they're just kind of waiting for the next step for for an in-person interview. So if it's myself and 2 board members, I did ask Peggy if she wanted to be a part of it since she is working on that for tax work off. She said she would love to join, but she doesn't want to ask questions. So we need to keep it an odd number. So if it's me and then 2 people from the board, that way we can get that going. They all seem like good candidates.
Do they breathe? Do they have good?
They do, and they
records?
have,
Hire,
they tell me that they have good, clean driving records.
right, check that with the registry, obviously.
Yeah, and they'd have to, they
Cory
bring it,
check.
so when I call them for their in-person, I would tell them their list of references and their driving record.
And Cory check.
Yeah.
How many candidates are there?
We have 3.
3, okay.
Yeah, I did have 2 others. One did not answer when it was time for the phone interview. No callback, no reach out from there. So
Well,
just,
done.
previously had applied for the position and did the same thing I found out after.
Uh,
So, and then somebody, just decided that they were a little outside of the driving area in the morning commute and when they're done.
Maybe 2 candidates have had phone interviews with you.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So how soon can we set up the interviews?
that's up to you guys. Whoever wants to be on the
What's going
board,
on
let me know
tomorrow morning?
what.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and I can reach out to them tomorrow and get them all in here as soon as you guys want.
Well, before we end the meeting today, let's set a time.
Okay. Anybody who wants, Kate, you have a ton going on already, but do you want me to just bring them to 19 Carter for you tomorrow?
Sure.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll just need to think about if you want to be on it, whoever,
I'm happy to volunteer depending on when we can decide on the time. I have sort of a lot of stuff going on, but I do have chunks of time that are available.
I mean, I can make time available for me. I can just rearrange them, so.
Did the candidates give you a rough idea of their availability?
So Linda, and Bob, if you want to do it,
Sorry, Kate. I'm Karen. Karen, what'd you say? I'm sorry, Kate was.
just said if you needed me to do that, or if no one else could do it, I could do it only on a Friday during the daytime.
Okay,
Between 1 and 1:30.
Yeah.
between 1 and 1:30. Kate, what did you say? I'm sorry.
Sorry, Karen. I was just wondering if the candidates gave you like blocks of time that they're available.
They didn't. one of them works on Wednesdays.
Hmm.
The other two are open to come in whenever we could schedule them for an in-person, so. I just left it as with them that I had a meeting with you guys tonight, that I would talk about it, find out what
Mhm.
we could get, so.
So do you need to find out when they're available to come to it, or you need to find out when?
I would say if we just stay away from that Wednesday, that they all should be able to.
If
to
you
make
can
it.
slide my phone towards me. I can
You'll
look
tell
at
me
my
what you're.
calendar. Sorry, Karen, I
Yeah,
just
I
have
just
to
went
take
for a
you
ride.
over here for a second.
Fine, that's fine.
I just have to look at my calendar. So next week, so can we say next week?
Yeah.
I could do Tuesday during the day, not Wednesday, because that person's not available, also Thursday during the day.
Okay,
Yeah, it should be good for either of those.
Yeah.
okay. All right, I will, offer them, is there something that you guys prefer? Like, do you want to do the mornings or do you want afternoon ones?
Tuesday, I have to do before. Oh, wait a minute, you know what? I lied. I have to go into work on Tuesday. How about Thursday after 10?
Thursday after 10. Okay,
If that. if
I'll try to
that-
get all three of them in back to
okay,
back to back. Is that okay with you
Yeah,
guys?
that's
to-
fine.
Okay,
Yep,
we'll leave a
that's
little
fine.
gap, but
I could also do Friday during the day. Laurie, can you, if we need to?
I can, but you're not here on Friday.
Oh, you don't work on Fridays. Yeah,
technically I'm not, but
well.
I did Vex breakfast last week and
Yeah, but we should,
it's what we need if it's to
Yeah.
fill the position.
yeah, you shouldn't have an ever varying work schedule.
Yeah,
That's
that's not
amazing.
really
Try to
fair.
figure-
Um,
Shoot for Thursday, see what you
Thursday.
can do, and then.
Okay,
When's next Thursday, that's the.
March 6th,
Next
Right.
Thursday? Really?
yeah.
Good.
Today's the
Today's the
25th.
25th. March 6th. Okay,
And at
so
what
I will
time?
let you two know then
I can do Thursday anytime after 10.
after 10.
Ever thought?
Yeah.
Peggy, who deals with these van drives all the time,
Mhm.
she doesn't want to ask questions. Could she do up a list of questions that we could work from?
Yeah, I can ask her
I think that
if
would be
there's
helpful.
specific questions that she would.
She might, yeah.
Yeah.
she
Some
might have
insight
some.
on.
I mean, I wonder too if she also, I guess, could sit in on it in case they had questions. She just want to be a part of the hiring process. Is that? I'll have to check
Yeah.
legally if that's,
He
yeah.
he probably could certainly answer questions better than I could.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
So,
Mhm.
all right. I will see if she is available to sit in as well,
Everybody else,
or write up some questions for us.
everybody else set on that?
Yes, yes. Good.
Van operations, current schedule, none on ours. But you got the MWRTA operating now, and they were clever enough to send around a
I
pretty
They
hard.
did, did you-
ignore
yeah.
every
Oh,
house.
good.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it,
Oh,
no.
I brought it.
You did, oh, good. Cause I
Yeah.
saw the
'Cause I
email, but I
was
didn't
pretty
even like
impressed.
get a hard, okay, yeah,
The new townhouse news.
same. Yeah, okay, so it is the same that they emailed, they just made a hard copy, yeah. I think their availability is gonna be a big deal too, you know, so people don't have to
Oh, God.
leave a doctor's appointment by 2 if it's,
Mhm.
you know, local or
Yeah, this says what,
Um,
6:30 to 6:30 or?
Yeah.
6:45 to 6:45 and Saturdays.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's.
You can keep that if you want.
Well, I have, this information,
Okay.
it's just, it came through on an email from him instead of a hard, I just wanted to say, I thought they were gonna do something different, but. Yeah, it catches the eye, you know,
Yeah.
big van.
Have you got any feedback as to whether they've had, because it's already started?
Yeah, I have
Mhm.
not heard anything, I can reach out to Josh and see if they're getting anybody booked
He said
from
that
us.
he and the MWRTA, his MWRTA counterpart,
We're gonna ride on a Friday.
are right on it, because they do that on the Worcester buses, board members.
Yeah,
Board
just
members
to make
hop on
sure
the
that the
buses and ride
process
to
is.
see what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, I think it'll be a big help. I was talking to Peggy a little bit earlier too about if they can handle most of our in-town stuff, then that frees up our out of town for us.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, their advantage is that they can go to Hudson, which Well, we can too, but I'm thinking a WRTA can't, but these guys can do both. So
Yeah,
town-wise, I mean, they take anybody up to Highland
Highland
Commons.
Commons.
Yeah.
Mhm. Or
Like
Worcester,
Worcester.
I mean, to
Marlboro.
Worcester, Walmart in Hudson.
Yeah,
They can take care of all those easier, quick rides, then we can worry about getting somebody to Concord, spending a little bit of time getting somebody to Marlboro Hospital. I hesitate to tell people that there is a one stop in Marlboro. Because then they get dropped off in Marlboro from the Berlin Transit, but then they have to get on another type of vehicle
I
to
want-
get to
I
their
want
other
to-
location.
yeah, I wanna talk with them about that. That's silly.
And I feel like that's gonna be a challenge. I don't really want to put our seniors in that situation. I don't know that I'd be comfortable trying to find like, okay, bus two-way, like,
Well,
Yeah,
it's a
the
bus-
potential for confusion and added
Yes.
stress is
I
there.
feel like it definitely, yeah. Similar to that, they do have where Emerson Hospital closed, they do have something similar that they're running out there. You don't have to be a resident in those towns, but you have to get to their location. So we'd have to get somebody from Berlin to Air, Shirley, Lancaster, whatever. And then from there, they can go to Emerson Hospital. And I said, well, we might as well just take our people to Emerson Hospital in Concord and call it a day.
Yeah.
Rather than again, trying to get them to go
In
somewhere.
one direction.
Well, yeah, I mean, and they're relying on we bring them there and then they get on the shuttle there. We might as well just close the loop and bring them the full way. Or they're having family members or friends trying to get them to that location,
So do
getting on another van.
we take them there, wait, and then bring them back?
I think it depends on the schedule. If we
Yeah.
can get it organized where we have multiple people, and we may not even have this much of a need, and it may just work out, there's 1 or 2 trips a day. But like in Clinton, they would try to schedule Worcester.
Yeah.
UMass, and so they would drop off, or for example, there was one route I actually rode one time. They went to Walmart and dropped somebody off in the Leominster Walmart, then went up Route 2 to the Leominster Fitchburg line, dropped
Oh.
somebody there at Verizon,
Yeah,
and then came back to Sterling to pick them, like started the route over. So they like dropped 3 people off. By the time they dropped that 3rd person, they were coming back to pick them up. So,
So you don't have a driver just sitting somewhere.
right. There's not a lot of downtime. But again, we may not have the need for that kind of thing. We may just be providing a couple medical appointments where, hey, one's at 10 and one's at 2. What they do in between, I don't really know, because we don't want to pay them for just the
that's,
downtime.
that's actually one of
So,
the bigger
yeah,
requests of the Neshoba Neighbors drivers is the medical appointments.
yeah. So, I mean, I have a couple people that have already called for March appointments. And I was like, I really hope I have somebody for you to drive you there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna take a little bit for the schedule. I think at the beginning, we'll just have to, try to do our best of just accommodating people and then trying to put it
Yeah.
into play of Mondays is this, Tuesdays is this. And typically, unless the doctor's offices aren't open on a specific day, they'll work with you if you tell them, I have to come on a Tuesday, that's when my transportation works. They'll schedule for Tuesdays instead of giving you Thursdays or whatever.
I want to be mindful of your,
Okay.
5 o'clock quit time.
Yeah,
Everybody else set on the MWRTA grant? Okay, COA event ideas?
I think we kind of touched on that a little bit.
Yeah.
My idea was just from the list that we had from the other COAs that we visited, but I think we've kind of touched on a
You
few.
have that, did you take that last time? So
Yes,
You have that.
yes, I have it, yeah. But yeah, I think meals, I think tech support with a lunch, I think those are, and I think the survey will help kind of pinpoint exactly what they're looking for.
Mhm.
I think the assessment that was like 200 pages is kind of general. We want, like we talked about last, like staying at home and, aging in place, but here are the resources that will help you do that. I
Right.
want more programs. Well, what does that look like for you? Cake decorating, flower arranging,
Yeah.
So if we get multiple people wanting the same thing, then I can kind of nail
Hone
things
in,
down in
yeah.
programs, that are wanted, book club, walking club. Anything, we can start, the lower cost things would be great.
Hey, COA space upgrades. Looks like there are a few color chips sitting here.
These are ones that, Melissa picked up, they're all really pretty, kind of sage, one, the white sages.
Yeah.
I like that one. I
Yeah.
like the two you had in your hand, that one, and then another green that had a little, well, I like that too. I like that gray.
Do you want to hold it closer?
It's so hot.
You had another green in your hand.
It's
a
from
lot.
Walmart. It is
Oh,
white sage.
Another one, I don't remember.
It's
what it
probably
was.
hard to see.
Sorry.
Oh.
This would we retain the.
Here I am talking to you while I'm muted.
Yeah.
It looks like cream. It doesn't look
It-
like it has any
It is
sage in it.
green. Yeah, it is. Here you can see it a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's very, very light.
All right, well, I trust all of your judgments.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to have, Kate, I'll see you tomorrow, so I'll bring them with me tomorrow.
Okay,
And I also have expenses for you to sign tomorrow too. You'll be there, right?
perfect.
I'm just
Yeah.
assuming that you're there.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So this would be the lower and that would be the upper?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking for scuff purposes, you almost do want that to be the lower.
I think the white would be too much on top.
Oh, could be.
Or if we're gonna maybe, chair rail height, something like that, and you've got pretty high ceilings downstairs, are they same as this, or they higher?
I don't think they're
I don't
higher.
think- I don't think they're higher, but they're pretty high, I think.
This is at least a 10-foot ceiling.
Yeah, I don't know the.
I've got this color too, but I think it's too much.
Or I mean, there could be just where we do like one accent wall and then, I mean.
Is there a
just
chair
tall
wheel
enough.
down there already?
No.
No.
No, but I have,
Oh, there's not.
no, there's, I've got trim about this size that we didn't use in our upstairs, it was left over, so I've got to check and see how much of that I have,
have.
because we could use that.
Okay, okay.
So I'm gonna measure down there and see what we need for trim.
Oh, sorry. Sitting here hogging that.
Talk away. Oh, I think it was this one. I liked this one too that you were holding, and I like
This
that
one, yeah.
You
I
can't
need to
see it.
play.
but-
I'm gonna bring them to her tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think,
What I do is when I'm looking at paint colors, something this size, I grab at least 4 of them, tape them together.
together, make it bigger,
You make
yeah,
it bigger so you
yeah.
can see what it looks like up on the wall.
yeah. You also put them on every wall to see the difference in shadows and
Kind of don't mind those. Actually.
Yeah. I
the
just-
browns. I feel like to warm it up, I kind of picked like the brown, but they might be too brown or, somewhere in the middle.
But you could go with one of those and a very creamy,
Yeah.
off-white kind of, which is very popular now.
Yeah,
This
I
is,
do love these greens though.
this is a real bright white. This is, the whitest white I could find.
Okay.
I use this in my house.
okay,
And it looks yellow here, but on the walls and on the trim, it's very white. It's called Brilliant White or something from Home Depot.
okay.
One of the bare ones.
Yeah, I was just at Walmart one day and I was like, oh. let me get coffee.
The other white that they have, I think we use it in our house, is museum white. Which is just, it's a little bit of a something yellow or
Mhm.
green color it just does something to it a little bit.
I think all
But
of
it becomes a
them.
background.
I
for
like
artwork.
all of them, really.
Linda's like, sure, do whatever you want.
I just would
I think it's
like to
just
stay
a
away
warming it
from
up.
too dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, even like that's kind of bright. I don't know. I mean, with that said, we can revisit this, but this is just kind of, if there's more, there was a request from yoga to put mirrors on the wall.
Oh, no.
So I understand their thought in a exercise program.
Mhm.
About having proper form.
Yeah, I think it was so they could kind of see themselves doing, but I kind of led in the direction of it's a multifunctional space. So if we have mirrors, I understand why you would want it in like a dance studio and an exercise, but it's not dedicated exercise
Right.
room. So I did say that I would bring it out. We could discuss it with the board and any things,
No,
but
You could do,
so it's trying
Portable
to
one.
find a
Yeah.
happy medium in a multifunctional room, So the warmer colors, is that like more calming? I know blues are, so it's a bit tricky. because I think no matter what, we're gonna get feedback from somebody that
Always.
says it's too bright, or, it really should have been this, or I really would have liked to see something else, so. But just to start the conversation with that,
I mean, that's not color either.
the
Especially
top
the-
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
The other,
Boring.
But, well, and I
Well-
think the green rail and I think it looks very somber and serious and
Looks like a school.
Like a boardroom. That's
exactly.
That's what this was. This was a school.
why our basement is the basement.
the other thing that wouldn't hurt, but I suppose it's a whole other level of construction work, is putting in little
Lights.
lights, track lights, where you
Yeah.
can move the lights and shine on stuff on the walls. That's pretty
Mm.
effective in the 19 Carters.
So what we-
lighting around, so.
Yeah, and what we're gonna run into is painting is one thing. Running electric,
This is another.
construction
Yeah.
is gonna be like, how far can we go without permits? Even though we're in the building, it could come kind of a point. I'll write it down though and revisit and see, because at the end of the day, it'll be, I mean, Ken will paint it. He said it'll only take a day for him to do it, that's fine. If we pick the color, we get the paint. So once we kind of establish that, I did want to reach out to Assabet. And I don't know, Kate, I don't know if it was you, I apologize, I don't remember who, but somebody gave me the idea of reaching out to Assabet, their paint department, to see if they could paint a mural or something.
Oh, yeah. I don't.
And
think
I
that was
don't-
me, But I
Oh,
think
did
I
you?
was there for that conversation.
Right.
Is that at 19 Carter?
I have no idea. So
Yeah.
I had my department head meeting and I said the same thing
Oh,
of
yeah.
last week, and I was like, so I apologize if it was anybody in this room, because I don't remember who it was, but somebody had told me, that's why I was like, Kate, was it you? Somebody had said, well, they have a paint department, maybe they could paint a mural, and I was
A
like,
great idea, though.
oh.
Hey, maybe they'll make meals for us.
Well, that was another, so somebody else said that for the culinary part, that their meals were really good. So there's a couple ways to take advantage of collaborating, and, I don't know if they need credits or if it counts for time for them or whatnot, but, so I do have a couple people to reach out to for that.
I think we just need to make sure
Space wise,
to drive what mural we want.
yes, I think we
Some
would,
lovely outdoor scenes with
We'll need
birds and
some
animals, some
prints
trees or
and-
something, and not, graffiti.
yeah.
As the
Do a
fa-
contest, have them do a.
Have them do a contest as part of the class and we pick one, yeah,
Yeah.
that's an idea.
as
But
the-
then they
Yeah.
should win something. I guess they win having it on our wall. But
Yeah. We could visit that too. I don't know what the
the pride of exposure.
the laws and rules are for, can we give them like a gift card? Like,
yeah, I was
here's a-
gonna say, yeah.
here's on
$50
your
gift
general
card,
store
yeah.
or something, I don't know. I mean, they're not town employees, so I know that
They can-
ethics, we can't take that, but
Right, but the kids.
the kids could.
Yeah.
So,
As the father of a muralist,
Oh.
who does it professionally,
oh,
I have to say, you don't want to get too specific about what you want in the mural, then they kind of go.
they
"Why-
lose their
why can't I
creativity.
make?"
Yeah,
Well, I don't, I think we let them run with it. I'm just envisioning a lot of the art that comes out of art departments in high schools.
mm-hmm,
And I think probably much of it would not be appropriate for a COA space.
Yeah,
And would not necessarily be relaxing and calming and,
Right.
So I think we let them run, but we sort of say, we want it to be relaxing and calming.
when I at one point had thought about just our logo. But that's blue and red and, that's bright too, so, we'll have to see. But yeah, I think, maybe if you're, I think you're right, you have to give them some sort of direction, like a nature, but not,
But we don't want
Yeah.
to take away their creativity.
I have zero creativity, so, you would need to tell me what to draw.
I would have to have someone else draw
Draw for
it,
it.
yeah.
So, that's where I was paint and whatever, wall art, wall decals kind of a thing. We could switch things up. Somebody, mentioned Marty Miller to me,
Yep.
how he has pictures from a lot of different places and eras and whatever. Maybe even just as simple as having like a hanging picture, like a picture wall where we can interchange the pictures with him. Give it-
I can introduce you to him at 19 Carter tomorrow if he's there.
I was gonna say, I met him at Bet's Breakfast.
Okay, cool.
That's where we talked about it.
Mhm.
I just have to kind of get an idea. He said, I have a lot, so I don't, do
He
you want me
does.
to bring you the pictures? And I was like, well, no, not to I don't know. So,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, even if it's just a movable kind of like you just hang them. I don't know. I thought it might be kind of fun for people like in Berlin to be like, oh, that's my grandmother, or like that's my aunt, or oh,
Yeah.
that was the barbecue in 1960, things that they used
Right.
to do, kind of memories and stuff. With some newer stuff, but if he has some older stuff,
A blend of old and new. Yeah.
yeah, just, if people are, for lack of better, in their 80s and, they're just wanting to come for coffee and they say, oh, oh, that was me when I, at the dance or whatever.
yeah.
I thought that maybe would just at least be a cool piece of something,
Well, that's great. Yep.
Yeah. So that's on the agenda for that. The furniture that's down there. I guess we need a plan or kind of what we want to do.
I agree with you that that sofa is hard to get out of.
It is.
It's
So
comfy, but it's.
it's very comfy. It was at my house. I would love it. If it's for our seniors that are trying to get up after something, they're gonna have trouble.
That's 13.
So I want to have some sort of furniture in there, obviously, to give them seating.
Yeah,
But I think we need to figure out something with that couch itself.
we maybe want to stay away from upholstered as well.
Yes, so we can wipe
More
down.
leather,
Yep,
leather type.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that's
Because
definite,
that-
which was a good thing, Bob. I said when I got here, I said, well, at least you can
Yeah,
disinfect it.
absolutely.
But they were all laughing at me at Veterans Breakfast after because I was telling Ken that I sat in it like my first day and I was like, thank God there's not cameras down here. I had to like roll myself out like as if I was home, like
Yeah.
it was difficult. I said, it's just gonna be difficult for seniors to get out of.
Or people who've had their hips or knees replaced.
Yeah, but it is, it's very comfortable. With that said, Chief Shartner offered to take it off our hands if we ever did get rid of it.
Oh,
Well,
So if we'd
that's
like to
good.
move it to the chief's office,
oh,
We could do
that, I
that.
thought you meant at his house.
yeah, no, in his office here.
Yeah, anything you need to get rid of, we can always take it or leave it as well.
Yeah, you could do that too,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we could look at the take it or leave it in that.
We can see what they have. in
The
their
box there.
furniture.
Yeah. As long as it's not, I mean, I'd hate to stink up the place, with
well,
older,
that's, and I think, yeah.
it depends where it's
It's
been.
iffy with upholstered
That I definitely wouldn't.
furniture because you don't know what kind
Yeah.
of smells are living in there or, and
having to do a
plus,
lot with it before.
you don't want people who may have slight incontinence issues sitting on an upholstered
Exactly.
chair or couch and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
leaving
yeah.
it down there.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Now,
Or just-
someone had mentioned a while back about a place up in, I think it was Air. that
Yes,
had
there
office
is.
furniture and stuff.
Yep,
Evans, yeah.
it is, Fresh Start, no, that's not it, is it?
No, not Fresh Start.
Fresh Start's here,
Blake,
I have the name of it at 19 Carter too.
I have yeah,
Listen, you and I have a task list tomorrow.
yes, we do.
They
I
do
think
a
I
bunch
have
of
it in
stuff.
I have it
Office.
in an email, but,
Yeah.
Devon's furniture.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
on that
Look
into
over-
that.
And they have
area.
office stuff and everything else.
Yeah, I actually thought about that just to check it out for, your home and
Yeah.
stuff, but,
It would be nice to find some tables that are easy to set up. Those 8-footers down there are, they must be particle board, they're heavy as a bugger.
Yeah, I'd get rid of those. I like the ones that you have up in.
The white ones?
Clinton, the ones that
Yeah.
are up on the higher
the third
floors.
floor, yeah.
They're long and thin and you
Yeah.
can put several together if you wanted a bigger
Mhm.
table.
Yeah, I know, yeah, I can even ask, I think she got them off of Amazon. But yeah, something like that where it's easy to set up. We don't have a lot of space, they are kind of going through asking who needs space and what they can do with certain things in areas, so that'll determine too.
Are we
You
gonna
know.
be able to get our little room back downstairs?
They have that they got a grant for it. So,
For the little room?
there is,
We'll take the grant and we'll.
there-
take
Yeah.
them.
there is it was
You
for
bring-
it's health and mental wellness for employees is what they got a grant for.
Oh, they won't get claustrophobic or anything in there.
Well, I would worry though that, because of confidentiality, if they're going to provide services to employees for health and wellness while other activities are going on.
It's
in
only a
the room,
massage chair. It's
That's-
not like there's not like,
One of those things that vibrates and they'll. After
So
a little
people
while.
can just go in there and use it. Oh, okay, so,
and there's a keypad on it, so it's not open to public.
Good.
I've not used it, so I don't know, but I hear good things.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that little room beside it and got all that stuff in.
Yeah, I mean, we could put a keypad, we can put a lock on that.
Well, it's just that we got kicked out of there by fire back a while back because
Yeah.
they said it was a fire
Fire
hazard.
hazard.
Yeah,
And
Which
so
one was that?
the little room. right
where the
beside
DME equipment is, where the
equipment is now.
there's a thing in there, like
Yeah.
a vent or something that's
Furnace
system.
or something.
Yeah.
And so we're not supposed to be in that room? either?
No, we're fine now, but the concern of Lori was that you got kicked out once, so what would
Yeah.
prevent them
does
from?
fire know we're
yeah.
in there now?
I believe so. I believe Ken, Chief McQuillan, and Dee and Kristen spoke about that space.
Oh.
So, yeah. And I do have some stuff in my office now that I'm starting to kind of pull up and go through. There were boxes down there of just like papers that could have been shredded and thrown away. So
Yeah.
a lot of it is just tidying up the space again, and bringing stuff up and kind of going through it. I'm certainly not trying to take more space than they need. But the fridge, Bob, the fridge should be here. I would hope by Wednesday. No, that's tomorrow,
And-
Thursday.
and
Amy
go
was
where?
supposed to be ordering
Yeah,
it.
Where are you putting that?
My thought was in the back corner for now, just to have something for our meals until we can figure out what the purpose and how we're gonna set it up.
Yeah.
How we wanna set it up.
I know the freezer part needs space in it for the spare meals for Meals on Wheels,
Yeah.
because they mess up our order.
and that's all it's
Once.
used for.
But
to be
we could
honest
put
now.
little waters
waters,
in there
we could do
for
waters.
yoga and Tai Chi, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's not, I didn't do a big normal residential because I truly didn't see the need for that. Because my thought would be if we're gonna do more meal prep and meals, that it will probably be at 1870. If it's a bigger, higher
Mhm.
quantity, this would be for creamers. You know, like to
Waters,
set a little
yeah.
coffee station.
How big is it?
9.7 cubic feet. It should hold, it's bigger than the one I had in my office and I
It's got a
could fit.
separate freezer section, reasonable size.
Yes, you can fit, I used to fit, I mean, I fit a whole 2 frozen pizzas in mine. And it's bigger than mine was at Clinton. I had my own fridge and freezer. And it's bigger than that one. So I'm sure we can fit 10-15 meals in there. No
The
problem.
frozen meals in
Yeah.
a little plastic.
Yeah, they're like this big. They're not like,
That's-
I've seen them. They're this big. They're a lean cuisine size, you know, it's a smart ones. They're actually smaller than that because there's no
But
box.
there'd also be
So-
space there to have trays for ice cubes in the summertime if you wanted to.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I think,
Well, if
I
you
think it
put- if
depends
you
on
put
what
little
we
cold
use.
waters in there, though, you don't need ice cubes
Yeah.
really, right?
and I mean, it depends on what we're, you know, if it's just, if we're trying to move it towards a space that people just come and hang out. Then, yeah, I guess ice would be nice, but again, it's
Not
cold water. It's
necessary.
not something that we would have to provide. I mean, we don't even have ice here upstairs now. I love ice in my drinks, to be honest, but,
Do we have, so I don't know what the formula grant is approved to be spent on,
Mhm.
but could it be spent on like those tables to,
yes, because we could tie it to
equip the
programs.
room?
Mhm.
Yeah, because, I don't know what the tables Laurie's referring to, but I know that we had tables that like were long, lightweight, but
Yeah.
folded down, so you could just put them against the wall if
Yeah.
you needed them out of the way, that kind of thing, but you could hook, make 4 of them and make a
Yeah.
big square or make,
My thought, if I had to off the top, would be the screen that was protecting like the DME equipment and kind of blocking that. is if we could take that and block that as like a small closet, like storage where the tables and chairs go. And then we put the screen around it so it's not an eyesore of just furniture.
Right.
One thing that Ken did bring down was more comfortable chairs. They're actually like these chairs, for yoga.
There was
And
some in the
there's-
office down there.
they're
Are those still?
super happy. They're still down there.
Yeah, those were nice.
That was
Yeah.
mentioned to me at your thing.
Oh, yeah.
At 19 Carter, one of the women said, at least they gave us more comfortable
Yeah,
chairs.
yeah, so, small steps, we're getting there, you know, it's
No, it's a lot.
more
of
challenging.
progress.
I came in here like guns blazing and I just talked to Kristen today and I said, I think I had expectations for myself coming from a bigger center.
Mhm.
And Vet's Breakfast kind of opened up my eyes a little bit on how we are starting from scratch here in
Yeah.
programs and
Yeah.
you know, we didn't have mugs for 15 people and I had to buy them and, you know, so I was just used to, oh, we have mugs. We need mugs. Oh, we need creamers. We need sugar packets. And you just go up to the third floor and you get them and you come on back down and
That's
that was it. And so when I got up there and I said, oh, I have to get the tables from up here. Okay.
Mhm.
And the chairs onto the elevator back down. So it's, oh,
Yeah. Yep.
It's,
5 seconds
though.
over.
oh,
Yep, so let's.
iPhone. So I think, yeah, I think we're getting there, space wise and
When
everything.
is the grab and go? I saw it, but I didn't,
March 23rd, 24th.
and you need help, I'm assuming.
I will actually need, thank you for bringing that up. I will need delivery people. Amy and her mom will not be here.
I've done that in the past. I have no problem with it.
The 19th, March 19th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you not need people to pack bags and stuff?
No, I probably will. Honestly, I don't know how you guys ran it before, so any input on that?
A lot of us did it, so that
okay.
You were slick.
we have down a system.
Okay,
Did.
perfect.
And we were.
You're hired.
You
All of
were.
But I.
Hi.
just have to look at-
last call.
I don't know how you haven't seen my dog who keeps trying to like meeting bomb.
That's not your dog, that's your husband.
We're not believing you. I'm sorry, 23rd, 24th?
No, 19th, March 19th.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
no, that's because I said the 23rd, 24th.
Any other business?
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yes.
It's a Wednesday.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, but
And what,
Anybody have any other new business? Any other business, I should say? Monkey or otherwise. Okay, the next meeting.
there was an email that came from some guy from Lifeline, came today. It came to all of us. I think, I'm not sure if you wanted to do a training for us or if that was for seniors. Melissa, did you see it?
No, I don't get this COA email.
Oh,
I only get the director email.
You should get the.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how, there's no,
and I will tell you, in my past, that's been a popular gathering.
You
Yeah.
thought here's one you
yeah,
wear
so
around
it
your.
looked good. So Melissa, I can forward it to you or anybody else, because I'm sure everybody else got it. But
perfect.
That could
You
be.
forward it to me as well, Karen.
Turnkey thing.
Kate needs you to forward it too.
Yeah,
Here, I'll forward it to you as well, Kate.
thank you.
I will.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that is probably a popular. They can give more information on what insurances cover it, what don't, what they accept.
Yeah.
Um,
Different
that's a-
types, all of
Mhm.
that.
It looked really interesting.
Yeah.
And he's asking, but he obviously mentioned like in the next couple of weeks, putting something together. I don't know how quickly that could happen, but we'll forward it to you, Melissa, and
Okay.
reach out to him.
Perfect, thank you.
Quickly, speaking of collaboration, I have campaigned about this for years now, but it hasn't happened. Between fire, scouts, us, Berlin seniors. Any other group you care to mention, vets. I'd love for somebody to go around to all the senior homes in town. Put appropriate sized numbers on their mailboxes and houses, so if
Mhm.
there's an emergency, fire department can find it. I can't tell you how many times I go around town, I go.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the house.
We had done that in Clinton. Let me find the form. For house numbers. And I want to say that it was, I think the fire and police had a big part in that, because, yes, you know, now you can look it up and you're like, okay, but it's just right here, it's just right here, it's just right here, you know. I can't tell you what 600 feet is, so I would drive by and then have to turn around, so, I think that's very important, just to be
Yeah.
able to see the numbers.
Absolutely.
And I think legally you're supposed to have it displayed on your home. I mean, I think it's
The town.
town rules and
town can
regulations.
Make it happen by saying, you have to have it by this date,
Mm-hmm,
or you're gonna, the town will install it and we'll charge you what it costs.
right,
But I know that two fire chiefs ago said, well, that's more of a stick, we wanna do the carrot thing. Well, the carrot doesn't work. No.
Well, but if we
Carrot.
could offer doing it for them,
right. If they
then
call
that's more
us
of a
and we,
carrot.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Remember too, that at the high school, there's the Leos Club.
right.
So just keep that in mind, because
Okay.
it's like Baby Lions. I
Yes.
think it's out of Boylston, the Boylston
It's
Lions
out of
Club.
Tohoto.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, it's not Tohoto, but
It's related to Boston.
Lions Club. And they do a lot of good volunteer stuff.
okay,
So, you know, for tech support, I would wanna
Gotcha.
put together a little list of what they should teach, but, you know, I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
yeah,
Or for something like this, if, you know,
I hope so. I hope that they are more, I mean, that was one of my struggles for Clinton, the intergenerational stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
and
shoveling
it's
for
it's
people.
such a great thing.
Oh,
to
it
do.
was so hard. We didn't get applications back. I'm like, it's just your neighbor. Like, my parents would have said, Melissa, it's snowing, go shovel Lori's sidewalk.
Right,
And you just went and you did it, you know, and now it's, oh, they're in sports and they're doing this and
Right.
they've got drama club and they've got so many
but
things
something
going
like
on.
this, you know, that you could say, you know, do on a time when they didn't have all that, or do in the summer when they're off, or, you
Mhm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
some.
Yeah, you could organize it.
Availability.
There are Boy Scouts, I think, are a good group to reach out to
Yeah.
as well. Or Girl Scouts too. I know they have a lot of, you know, service projects they can do.
Next meeting, March 25th, 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
This same space?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this wasn't a virtual meeting. I mean, a hybrid meeting.
She had prior commitments, so we have it recorded and then she's gonna post it out.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. See you tomorrow.
Thanks. Have a
Bye,
good night,
Karen.
everybody. Ciao.